I'm gonna see. This is my first time using StreamYard. I'm pretty sure you've used it before.
I've only been on this side of StreamYard, but it does say we're live, so that's cool.
Okay. It does say we're live. Cool.
I'm not seeing it in the Facebook group, though. I see us on YouTube, though.
Yes. Okay. I did a bunch of invites on the Facebook group to get some people watching. Okay. I'm still not finding the video on YouTube. That's funny.
Here, I'll message it to you on Facebook.
Okay, that's great.
I don't see it being broadcasted on Facebook, though.
No, I didn't broadcast it on Facebook.
Gotcha.
It gave me the choice either or. I was trying to do both. It gave me the choice either or.
Gotcha.
So I just did. So it is live.
It is live. Yes. Should we share the YouTube?
Yes, that would
URL?
be great. That would be great. That would be great. I shared it in my group. I shared it in my personal page, and it would be nice if you can share it somewhere. We can get some people in here.
Perfect. All right. Let's see. Wait, did you share it in your group? I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Let's see here. All right, post in the big group.
Okay, great. So I have been really admiring what you have been doing with that Mersh Informer and all the products that derived from it. I am a big fan of Mersh Informer.
Thank you.
I use it a lot. A lot of people miss the point of what Mersh Informer is. And a lot of people are very quick to judge, and that's what I talked about in my last video. Like I said, guns don't kill people, cars don't kill people. It's people that kill people. So the point with if somebody's searching for designs to make on Mersh Informer, they got the whole thing wrong.
Yes, I agree.
People usually are wondering. Anytime I get somebody in my group asking me questions when they're just starting a Mersh by Amazon, they tell me, I don't know how you get 10,000 ideas to fill up 10,000 slots or 50,000 ideas to fill up. I'm struggling filling up 100 slots with 100 different ideas. And so this is what Mersh Informer is for. Some people would buy niche lists or some type of newsletter or something to get an idea what to design for. Which is great. If somebody's going to do the legwork for you, that's fine. But if you have a subscription and you can go on Mersh Informer yourself and you can see what's selling, and then when you see something is selling, you're just going to decide, okay, that means there is a demand for this niche. Okay, people are looking for, I don't know, for a mechanic shirt. Okay, let me come up with some new concept, my own design for a mechanic shirt. Maybe come up with my own quote, maybe find a quote on some social media or something, or whatever I can find something that I believe would sell. And then I would upload it to Mersh by Amazon and test my luck. And
yeah, that it's funny you say that because I've seen you in a lot of the live videos that I've done. So typically what I'll do is I'll find an idea that I know is selling. And like you mentioned previously, it's not about taking that idea and going, okay, well, I'm going to take that same idea and do my own version of it. It's okay. The niche itself has buyers in it. Okay, we know that the niche, there's buyers that are paying money for these products. How do we come up with something new? And you always have such good ideas that I don't even think of. You drop them in the comments and I look and it's like, there's not a single product out there with, this saying, this phrase on it. But it's in the big niche where people are buying, and that's where the money's at.
That is 100% true. And the funny thing is that I'm not special. Everyone can come up with great ideas on their own, and and but people just like they don't believe in themselves. They don't trust themselves. They don't trust that whatever quote I came up with, there is somebody out there that's willing to buy it on a t-shirt and wear it. And I tell them, like, you know what? You lose nothing. Amazon is not charging you submission. If you believe something is funny, if you're not funny, it doesn't have to be funny. If you believe something is spiritual, motivational, something some strong, powerful quote that you think of, or something, maybe if it's not you, maybe you have somebody in your family that can come up with quotes. Maybe you have a friend, maybe just stuff that is not copyrighted or trademarked that you can come across in different websites and different blogs and different reading memes and stuff like that. You can put it up on a t-shirt.
And the thing is, at the end of the day, like, it doesn't even necessarily have to be funny to you. Like, you are not your target audience. At least I'm not. I wouldn't wear 99.999 repeating percent of the stuff that I put online. I think it's ugly. I think it's strange. But there's a whole wide audience of people out there that do find it funny, or they do want to wear it, or they do want to make that statement. So, like, even if you come up with something, you're like, well, that was a dumb idea. It takes, what, like 10 seconds to put a shirt up online? Like, it's not going to take your whole day. You can test the concept out with zero risk.
Yes, definitely. It doesn't take any time. The thing is, I tell people, just try to stand out. If you come up with some idea, just try to figure out. There is so many different elements that come into play when trying to design a shirt that you have to think outside the box. Number one, in my opinion, it's the quote and the clip art that you're going to use, or illustration that you're going to use. Number two is the concept, the setup you're going to use to place that on a t-shirt. Number three is how you're dealing with your positive and negative spaces. Number four is the color selection. Like,
yeah, I'd agree with that.
And the color selection a lot of times will have a lot to do with the design. Like, okay, just like something the obvious type of DAW. You're not going to make an orange shamrock for a St. Patrick's Day shirt. Okay?
Very true.
But then in some niches where people don't understand, for example, if you're dealing with some type of cancer awareness, or if you're dealing with some type, colors have a lot of meaning. Okay? So you have to study your niche a little bit outside of Merch by Amazon, outside even of Mersh Informer. Go read up a little bit about it, figure out what's important. Maybe there are some colors that are important. Maybe there are some dates that are important. Maybe there are some historical figures or some geographic locations or things that are tied up to that event that are going to make the money. And then there are also that clip art. A lot of times comes in. Would be meaningful to the people. For example, you remember when it was that Red for Ad thing with the
yes,
with the strike and all that? It wasn't my shirt, but the strike was in Arizona. And
that's right.
Somebody that had a really successful shirt, what he thought of, he put up a cactus as part of the design. So that is meaningful to the people in Arizona.
That is so true, though, because like what you're talking about, I feel is what a lot of people miss. Like, so they'll be doing their research, whether it's inside a Merch Informer on Amazon. They'll come across a really good seller. They'll have zero idea of what that niche is or what it means, but they immediately think, well, I'm going to jump into this niche. And it doesn't work that way, because if you take that niche, you design your own shirt, or you have someone else design it for you, and you put it up and you don't truly understand like the buyer at the other end of the computer, they're going to read your title and description, and if you have zero idea what you're talking about, like, it's going to show through and you're not going to get those sales. So like just a little bit of preliminary research is so important, just so you don't come off as an idiot. You know, you come off as someone, like if you're doing like a hardcore biker shirt, right? you want to understand the lingo and understand kind of the thought process behind the person buying that. Otherwise, they're going to look at your shirt and be like, well, that's a cool design. And they read your title or they read your bullet points and they're going to go, let's go to the next shirt, you know?
Yes, definitely. Definitely. That is 100% true. And then the other thing that I wonder is everyone everyone would complain. We find a way as a human, it's human nature. We find a way to complain about our failures in life. And we
Yes.
always find a way to blame them on somebody or something. It just somehow feels better when we can blame our failures on somebody else. Even if I drop the tray, I will turn around and look at my daughter like, "What were you looking at me?" You know. So
Yeah.
it's just human nature. So here we are in this level ground, this merch by Amazon. This is level. Everyone is anonymous. Everyone is anonymous. Everyone gets the same chance. Everyone starts with tier 10, and everyone gets a chance to prove to the world who he is, or at least prove it to himself. He can stand in the mirror. He can say, okay, I did that, and I succeeded at it. But the funny thing is that once they're given that chance, they will come in and they will figure out how they can copy somebody else. So they would never use their own potential, so they fail in somebody else's shoes.
It's true.
And the problem with people copying too is the fact that when somebody designs a shirt and after he puts some maybe AMS ads on it, maybe some pricing strategy, maybe something, he got it to rank on page 1. Now it's ranking for a bunch of keywords. There is a whole wave of people that are going to come in and make very close variations of that shirt, and a big percentage of them will be direct copycats.
It's true too.
And when they do all that, the funny thing is that they're going to only like 0.01% of them are going to score any sales, and the rest are just wasting slots.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like, I've been pretty upfront that I've never actually reported a copycat, and I have tens of thousands of them, right? Like, my thought process is I want to focus on what I can control, which is creating the designs, coming up with the niches, all of that. But I also find that if I'm first and I did a good job, you know, optimizing my listing and everything, I'm always going to stay first because I'm going to have the sales velocity and everything else. Now, I'm not telling people not to report copycats. You know, that's your own prerogative. If you want to spend your time doing that, like, you know, be my guest, please do. Those people are in the wrong. But me personally, like, I just focus on getting the designs up, coming up with the niches, and just always trying to stay one step ahead instead of playing whack-a-mole, which I feel like a lot of people are doing.
Yes, that is definitely true. And I just gave up reporting anyone. So
yeah, you're never going to get ahead of that, is what it feels like. Especially if you're like a one-man team, you know.
Yeah, if I spend my life doing one step forward and one step back, I'm not gonna get anywhere.
Yeah, you're gonna stay in the same spot.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay in the same spot. So the time that I can upload the design, I can go back and defend the previous one. I'm not getting anywhere. But I'm just telling these people that if your plan on merch by Amazon is to just copy, and I understand some people would say, well, I don't speak the language, I don't understand the culture, I don't understand. Okay, just make some art.
Yeah.
There is no language for art. Just make some nice illustrations, just draw something. If you have an account that you can draw, maybe I'm pretty sure you know someone that can draw for you, and maybe you can work out a deal with them or whatever, and put those shirts on Amazon. Lately, and this has been helping me. I have been reducing my keywords on my listings. The reason why is because I am using AMS, and I realize it's just more words to pay for.
Yep. well, it depends. If you're using like a bunch of different keywords. So when I'm running AMS ads, right, I always run them as an auto campaign for a while just to see like what keywords AMS will run against. And then I'll pull that list and I'll look at them and I'll go, okay, like AMS decided to run against this keyword and this keyword and this keyword, and they had a ton of impressions. like no clicks, no sales, or maybe they did get some clicks, but it led to no sales. And then I go, okay, I'm running AMS. I'm paying for these clicks. They aren't converting. But, oh, here's, 1, 2, and 3. These 3 keywords that AMS decided to run against these keywords, those are converting. So then I'll start running like a manual ad with just those keywords because I know they work. So it's a little bit of wasted money up front, but it kind of filters out all of the junk that you were just talking about by including more keywords in your listings.
Yes, what I meant by here's my personal experience. So I would run the manual, the automatic campaigns, and then I would select the keywords, and then I would go ahead and do automatic campaigns with the best performing keywords. Sometimes recently I reverted from that. It's like a little bit of a long process and big. It's a longer study period. So I started just making a manual list of predictable good keywords.
Okay.
And I make that huge list manually. And then at the end of the day, I would realize that if it's, for example, the keywords that are going to perform are like the most obvious one. It would be Chihuahua shirt, funny Chihuahua shirt for women, all those canines and dog pound and animal shelter and animal rescue and all those words that people keep stuffing into the listing somehow related to dogs, they would not work. They would get 0 impression.
Yeah.
So it's the most obvious ones that are scoring. And so what I decide to just, even if they get impressions, they get clicks, there is no return on investment.
Right.
So I'm not making any money out of that. So I decided to focus just on the main keywords that are going to make me money. So I put those on my plus. Also, I believe that Amazon, if you fail in relevancy many times, and how they know it is if they display you and you don't perform for that keyword.
Yeah, they're going to drop you down the page. I mean, dude, that's a good example too. Like, it doesn't just relate to AMS, right? Like if you have a Chihuahua shirt, right, and you put, I don't know, Pitbull in the title, and someone typing in Pitbull is going to open up that design and find it in search. Maybe you have, I don't know, 20 people click through the shirt. They get into the product page and they're like, okay, this is, I wanted a Pitbull shirt. This says Chihuahua. They click back. Like, what do you think is going to happen? Amazon's going to go, okay, well, we gave this person impressions. Even if you're not running ads, right? Impressions on the actual search page, you click through it, they're not making any money, which, we're not making any money. So they're just going to drop you down the page and someone else is going to take your results from you.
And people keep trying to figure out algorithms, and I tell them, okay, everything in life would run using common sense, not science.
Yes.
If you just break it down to common sense, it will. If it doesn't make sense, it doesn't exist. So I tell people, okay, if you have 2 shirts competing for AMS, one bidding, for example, 25 cents, and has a big return, what do you call it, ROI, or click-through rate, or sales rate, or whatever, and another shirt that's bidding 99 cents, 4 times more, but people are not clicking on it. AMS is trying to make money. What would AMS keep that shirt on the top of the page, sitting there with the 99 cents bid, but people are not clicking on it, and it's not making them any money? Amazon will make money 2 ways: when they click and when they buy. So
Yep.
If you're not getting clicks, Amazon is not making money either way. Now, if you're getting clicks but you're not getting sales, now Amazon is making money only on the clicks, and they're not converting on the sales with you. So Amazon would rather to put up somebody that has a lower bid than you do, and put them up.
But is making more. Yes,
they're making more sales for them.
No one talks about that, which is such a good point. Like, at the very end of the day, even though we may not like it, like, we're in business with Amazon. If they don't make money, we don't make money. That goes back to what we were talking about earlier, which is the copycat issue. they don't make any money from the 1,500th variation of a dog shirt that looks just like 1,499 other shirts. And of course you're not going to make sales. Amazon isn't going to place you. Amazon isn't going to make any money off you. And then you're going to come into the groups and everything and complain about it. It's like, okay, a better way to do it is look at the dog niche, which is massive. It makes a ton of different sales. What I like to do, I think I've run through this on a lot of live videos, is I'll go to Pinterest, I'll type in, funny dog quote, and I'll find something that makes me laugh, makes me chuckle, or I think is really stupid but stands out to me. And then I'll cross-reference that phrase in the big niche against the results on Amazon. If I say, oh, look, it doesn't exist on Amazon, but I know the big niche sells, well, all of a sudden I know that I can actually get in front of people because it's a unique product.
Yes, that is 100% true. It's to the customer, and I gave this example a long time ago. It's a psychological game. So let's say you are buying a Barbie for your niece. You walk into the store, you go to the aisle, and there is like 100 Barbies with a purple dress. or okay, you know what? Let's take the pink. There is 100 different Barbies with a pink dress, and there is only one with a purple dress.
Yep, that one's going to stand out every time.
It's going to stand out, and you're going to feel like, wow. If you sit there thinking for a second and somebody grabs it, it feels like he robbed you, or they robbed.
Yes.
Because it just feels special. But if it was only one and one, most people would go for the pink. But because the purple was only one of, people feel like it's special. So it's the same thing. It's a psychological game. When people search for a St. Patrick's Day, and they all say the same thing, every shirt says the same thing, like switching the font around, or switching using a different shamrock or a different clover, whatever. It doesn't make it any different. But if you have that one shirt that stands out for people, that doesn't look like the rest, you might not be the best design, but just by standing out, you will be you will have the purple dress Barbie.
Yeah, and a lot of times what will happen is, let's say you're doing, a shamrock shirt, right? And if you go specifically on Amazon, you type the exact phrase, and you see copy after copy after copy after copy, most customers on the other end of the computer are not typing out that exact phrase. They might be typing in like funny St. Patrick's Day t-shirt. And if you look at that results page, all of the results are going to display different type of stuff, right? So like at the end of the day, it's all about just sticking out, making sure your stuff is optimized, of course, making sure your listing looks good. But if you have that unique thing, like it takes 10 seconds more effort. It's really not that much more work to get so much more return just by spending, a few minutes doing a little bit more.
Yes, that is 100%. I wanted to jump up. I'm sorry, to talk about your new upload interface.
Let's do it.
I was, to be honest, I was like really impressed with the process of that. It looks like you guys worked on that in the background for quite a while.
A long time, yes.
And you guys
like
managed
5 months or something.
Too. That is really impressive, and it looks like very much straightforward. And I'll tell you guys, only God is perfect. So this thing is just started. So it might run into some hiccups, and you might run into some hiccups using it because it's new to you too. So I wanted to address. Sorry, I'll jump in with a question earlier. Right here. So it's a series of questions. This is from Brad Carter. He says, "I really wish I could get the single upload interface working."
So for that, I can just go ahead and address that. It's a little bit different than software as a service, so like online web-based software. The reason I say that is because if it's online and something's broken, like it's broken for everyone. With this, it's different platforms, so PC and Mac, right, on your actual computer. The biggest things you have to be aware of is your CSV file needs to be filled out properly. So like if you're missing for example, if you're missing a title in one of the columns, or you're missing a tag column, and you map the the tags to Redbubble, for example. If you're missing any of those or have any weird special characters or whatever, that's going to throw an error. 2, it's going to ask you to log in each time to the different platforms. That is not something that we can control. That's on those platforms. 3, for each platform, they're going to have different internal tiers. So the reason I bring that up is because, like Teespring specifically, with Merch by Amazon, you have tier 10 at the very top when you first start, and hey, I can upload 10 designs. Pretty straightforward. With some of these platforms, they have different tiers like that they don't tell you about, right? So if you just sign up today and you start uploading, you might upload 5 designs and you hit a block where the software stops working. If that ever happens, try to upload one manually first. And if you can't upload one manually, there you found your issue, or maybe you find a pop-up or something like that. And
yeah, like Redbubble, it doesn't matter how long you've been with them. They have a limit of 60 uploads a day.
Yeah, that actually can change depending on like a lot of different factors. Like if you've been with them and you're making a lot of sales, so like they have all types of different internal controls that they haven't even shared with me. They just told me they're there. Which I'm passing on to you guys. But I mean, there's so many different things that we have to deal with. And then 4, before you guys like upload your CSV and click start uploading, go to that little help button at the very top and read through all the support documents. Like I've gone through what you need to fill out on each platform to make sure that it actually works properly. And then 5, if you still have issues after that, put in a help ticket, because we have a bunch of engineers that work on this sort of stuff. And we need everything through the help desk so that they can take a look and build it from there.
100%. And guys, using a help ticket, it's actually a two-way ticket. Not only it helps you, it helps the software, because the software developers, because now if there is an issue that comes up that really needs to be addressed by them, then they can know about it and they can fix it. So you're helping yourself and you're helping the software developers know what's things that are wrong. But then usually in the meantime, if the software works for someone once they upload their file, if it works for someone, it should work for the rest. So the question to ask yourself is, why is it working for others and not working for me? And in most cases, that would be an issue that is either with you or outside of the software, like.
And it's super easy to make those mistakes. Like I was doing a test run earlier today and I mapped the title wrong, right? I mapped my title to the tags and all of a sudden it's throwing an error for me. Or, I ran into an issue where someone, had forgotten, they put a title in and in their next row, they didn't have a title there. And of course, when it tries to go fill the title, it sees a blank slot, right? And that's going to cause an issue too. So it's just a little bit of troubleshooting. I mean, it is a new tool, but I've run it like hundreds of times. To fix most of the bugs that we have. I know there's a few small things, but we're working on it. I think we pushed 30 plus versions over the weekend.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, we got a lot of people working on it, but so far I think there's been a good response to it. I know a lot of people are asking me, when are you going to get this platform? When are you going to get that platform? The response to that is we're actually talking and running through the legal departments of all these platforms to actually get explicit permission before we release this stuff to you guys. Because the last thing I want is to release something that gets you in trouble with a platform. I want to make sure everything's cleared, everything's working properly. And then once we get that, then we'll push it through and you'll start seeing it.
Oh, that is really kind of you to think of the legal issues for the end users, because
well, I mean, that's why it took like 5 months.
Yes, well, that is great. I was watching the video. You made like a straightforward video to show the users how step by step how to use the plugin, and I believe that everyone should check out that video. It's really straightforward. It's not. There is like barely any work, and like I would say that complicated work. There is no there is not much legwork left to you. The software
Yeah.
is like
So
really plug and play. It's just fill this, fill that, fill this, fill that, and you
the
work.
biggest thing you have to do when you get started is like you need to know what a CSV file is. That's pretty easy. I go over that in a video. So if you want to find that, it's on the Mersh Informer channel. But you can make those with either Excel. If you don't have Excel, I would highly recommend using Google Sheets. It's completely free. Basically, what you have to do is be able to type. And once you can type everything out, you just file save it as a .csv, and that's what you upload to the software. And that's going to include stuff like, your title, your description, if anything uses bullet points, which they really don't on a lot of platforms, tags, and then finally, I guess the other hardest part is getting your the image paths from your computer. But if you can like actually fill out a CSV file, the rest is literally just like, okay, what do I want my title to be on Redbubble? Oh, I want it to be the title column in the CSV file. Oh, what do I want my tags to be? Oh, I want it to be the tags column. You're just mapping things back and forth, and then you click and go. So the most time-consuming part is just putting together your designs. And if you already have a bunch of designs, say on Merch by Amazon, there's some free plugins like Productor or something that you can actually download, which will already have most of the things in there for you.
Another thing that I find cool with this is that you're doing a little bit of legwork in the beginning to make those CSV files. But my question, this is so I can confirm it too with Neil. My question is, if you create some CSV files for some designs with descriptions and bullets and titles and everything, and down the road, you add like Zazzle, add some other platforms, then you could just reuse those. You would have those saved on your computer. You could just reuse them. Then it would be.
So if you have your CSV file and down the road, like just today, right, we released Spreadshirt. So essentially, if you had a CSV file from last week, all you would have to do is log into the software. You have your CSV file ready to go. You click, 5 buttons to map it out to like, okay, here's your title, tags, description, so on and so forth, and click go. And I mean, Spreadshirt offers like 200 plus products. So if you had 1,000 designs, like do the math, that's a lot of different products up on another platform. And the reason we picked the platforms we did, and it's taken so long, is that these platforms have buyers that aren't shopping on Amazon. So like Printful, for example, right? Everyone I know is pretty much using Printful to sell on Etsy. Etsy has a whole slew, millions of people buying products that don't even shop on Amazon. Now that's kind of foreign to me. I do most of my shopping on Amazon, but like there's some hardcore people out there that only buy from Etsy. There's people that only buy from Redbubble, and we're just not like, you already have all of these design assets, but they're just sitting there essentially like the opportunity cost of you not putting them up on these other platforms is losing you money. It's kind of the way I look at it. So at the end of the day, it's a time versus money thing. And this basically takes all the time that you would have spent uploading to, you could spend all day uploading. If you had 1,000 shirts uploading to Redbubble, that'd take a week. You could spend all day uploading a Spreadshirt, but now it's like, okay, you fill out a CSV file and you click go, and now all of a sudden you're everywhere, which can also help with copycats, right? I mean, if you're first, you have all this proof like, hey, this is the upload date. Hey, I have this product here, here, and here. Now it's a lot better for your business while also being in front of more people.
Yes, it is a great thing because, like, for someone like me, I always looked at it this way, and this is just my belief. Like, people ask me why am I doing other things? Like, why am I not all these websites? I say, okay, for me, Merch by Amazon and Etsy are working. Redbubble, to me, this is what I believe. If I can spend an hour working on Redbubble, I would have a higher return if I spend that hour working on Merch by Amazon.
Yep.
This is so
time versus money.
So yeah, it was time versus money. So it was like a deal breaker. I couldn't get past that to be everywhere. But then in the meantime, I kept contemplating people that actually did the work a long time ago and have 1,000 designs on Zazzle, Spreadshirt, Spreadsheet, whatever. all these websites, And they still tell you, okay, my bread and butter is Merch by Amazon, then Etsy, then this, then that. But then when you add all those little chunks at the end of the month, he got $84 from this website, 102 from the other, 78 from this one, whatever. And you add all that up, then it's not change anymore. It adds up to something.
Well, yeah, I mean, think about it like this. I mean, okay, let's just say you're doing $1,000 a month with your Merch by Amazon account. And you're like, that's really good. That's $12,000 a year. This is my side hustle. You already have those designs. You know they make money. You know people buy them. But they're just sitting there. They're only on Merch by Amazon. So you're only reaching, now Merch by Amazon has a huge audience. I don't want to downplay it. That's where most of the money comes from. But let's just say that you could do just $100 a month through the 4 platforms, right? So $400 a month times 12. That's excellent money doing pretty much nothing. I mean, all you're doing is taking what you already have. You're not creating specific designs for Redbubble. You're taking the assets in your business, and all you're doing is you're spreading them across the internet.
Yes. And that changed someone like me. It changed my mind, because now I say to myself that I don't have to go too far away from my work on Merch by Amazon and Etsy, and I can upload a whole bunch of designs using basically what it is. It's an automation platform or software, I'm sorry, that's going to allow me to take these already existing designs and put them up on other websites. And I don't care, considering the effort that I put in, how minimal compared to what it would have been. I don't care if at the end of the month I only get $50 here and $60 there. It's money that I wasn't going to get. And and knowing you and knowing how you keep working on things, like you're always thinking what's next. I can place a bet right now that you are going to keep looking at other platforms and a way to connect the software.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, as it sits now, there's a lot of products that you can do just currently with the 4 that we released. I mean, if ever we get more approvals, we'll let you guys know. But I mean, the big thing here is the way I like to think about it, because I like numbers. I know a lot of people don't, but I look at it basically as a cost per design, right? So if I'm paying, I don't know, $10 a design, $20 a design, whatever it may be, and I see that, okay, every month I have this one design, I pay $10 for it. It does $40 on Amazon. That's like what, a 400% return, really good. And then after the first month, it's just free money. And then I kind of look at the return on the other platforms. So, okay, if I put this up and it only makes, I don't know, $1 a month on Redbubble selling stickers, something like that, that extra $1 a month is literally almost an infinite return, because I already paid for it with the Merch by Amazon account.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you think about it like that, it's just, I don't know. I didn't used to upload to back up like 2 years ago, right? I opened up a bunch of these accounts and I was like, okay, I'm going to take all of these designs and I'm going to upload them everywhere. That lasted maybe 3 days. Like after 3 days, I was like, I don't have, 200 hours in a day. I have 24. I need to sleep at least 8 of them. So that was the end of that. But once you started working on this, it opened up a lot more opportunities for me.
Yes, it definitely does. And I mean, considering now how this thing with Merch by Amazon exploded, because I remember the days where a tier 10,000 looked like science fiction. Like, wow, that's so far away. Now, this thing, like, really, people woke up to what it is to be to be professional, and they woke up to the fact that, and not everyone did, but a lot of people woke up to the fact that, okay, tier 20,000 is nothing right now. I gotta jump up. I need to double. I need to get to 40K, 50K, 60K, because if other people are doing it, I'm doing it. So the result of all this is everyone is ending up with a huge library of designs that is collecting virtual dust in your hard drive.
Yep.
And those designs, you can easily put them up in other sites and make money with them. So the hinder before was the fact that you don't have the time. There's only so many hours available to you in a day where you can do this. Now using this interface, it's just makes it so much easier.
I'd be remiss not to like mention that it doesn't like, okay, at the end of the day, right? What are we all here to do? We're here to make money, right?
Yes.
If you have tier 100,000 and you have 100,000 designs and you're only making $50 a month, like I feel like there's a disconnect in the merch community. Everyone's like, I need to upload more, and that's good if they're great designs, right? The scaled stuff, like after speaking with these companies, they don't want scaled stuff. So I need to be very upfront with that because they're not going to sell. All they do is clog up the catalog. Like we were talking about earlier, it's about being unique, putting stuff out there that people want to buy. Your 400th variation of, Father's Day t-shirt, no one wants that. Not even Amazon wants that. I mean, I'm assuming they'll fix it at some point, but you want a lot of good designs. Like I know that's hard. It takes a while. Like you've been doing this for a while. I've been doing this for a while. When you first get started, you have to come in with that mindset of like, okay, if I want to do a lot of designs, they need to be good. They need to be researched. And then it starts to make sense. Because what I feel like is going to happen is, I mean, it's already happening with merch, right? You have these people that are uploading as many designs as possible, and then they're sitting back and they're complaining, well, oh, Merch by Amazon's dead. I have 25,000 designs and I don't make any money. The same, if you can't make money with your designs on Amazon, uploading them to Redbubble and Spreadshirt and whatever, it's not going to make you any more money because you didn't do the research. The designs maybe weren't very good. But if you did the research, you have good designs that are not scaled out and you can spread them everywhere, then it makes a lot more sense.
Not to give Amazon any ideas, but if Amazon, if you're listening, close your ears for a second. If Amazon was charging a nickel per design to upload, but then that nickel gets refunded to you with the first sale royalty.
Well,
So,
that's an interesting thought.
So
I don't like it, but that's very interesting.
It gets refunded to you one time with the first sale. So you're paying it at first, and then if the item sells the first time, you get that nickel back. So instead, for example, instead of 523, you get 528.
Well,
Okay.
you know what's funny is that like when we first started talking, uploading, like testing your stuff on Amazon for free, which they allow us to do, is so powerful. Like one of the things that I really like to do, because I enjoy watching the clown show called Politics, is watch debates, read the news, and just take stuff that I find absolutely ridiculous, quickly create a design and throw it up. And then, what would you know? Like a lot of those end up selling at least once, but there's some ridiculous stuff that I'll find funny that everyone else is like, well, I don't like it. That never sell at all, right? And I'll end up pulling it down whenever it comes down. But just the fact that they don't charge fees, I think is really powerful, just so that we can have like basically an open playground to test out our ideas.
Yes, definitely, and that's why I was joking. I said Amazon. Close your
That
ears.
is an interesting idea, though. I haven't heard it phrased like that.
The idea is just to tell people, okay, we don't need your nickel, but this is just to make you take it seriously and upload your best effort. This is for your own good, because if someone is going to end up with, like you said, a library of 25,000 shirts and complaining in the groups that is not making any money, then it's either a problem with you, or which is still a problem for you if you're paying a designer that sucks and you think they're Michelangelo and they're sending you garbage and you keep uploading it to Merch by Amazon. So
I think the biggest thing, though, right, that I've noticed personally is that people that come into the Merch by Amazon space, right, they realize, look, that they can sell their art everywhere. But I'm just going to make an educated guess and say that most of us are not artists. I'm not an artist. I'm certainly not an artist. I can barely draw a stick figure. So you know what I don't do? I don't spend my time trying to create art. I pay someone who knows what they're doing to create the art. And I don't want to like trash anyone's designs or anything, but I feel like it'd be really helpful. Like if you're not selling, right? Or if you have a bunch of designs and you're like, I'm not making as much money as I think I would. take your top 20 designs that you think are the best and send them to 5 people and say, hey, what do you think of these? Like, are they bad? Are they good? What would you change? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Like, just get some honest feedback. Because at the end of the day, like, you need people to be honest with you. And if you can't be honest with yourself, which, it's really important, man. I think I'm honest with myself, and I don't even try to do any artwork because I know that it's bad. And I'm very open about that. I mean, I can barely use Photoshop. That's why if I do design something, it's typically just a text-based design based on something that I find funny in politics or something. But I think that's really important, though, is just to get a second opinion from someone that you actually trust if you're not selling what you think you should be.
Yes, and also not everything goes on a t-shirt, and some people don't understand that. Like, some people will show me something and tell me, okay, can I PM you or whatever, show you this design, why didn't it sell, can you criticize it, can you work or critique it, and I look at the design. Sometimes it's something funny, but it doesn't belong on a t-shirt. It's not, you know what I mean? Not everything goes on a t-shirt. Like, not everything is a statement that I want to wear and go out in the public and show people, like, here, read this, read that. Not everything is good that way.
Well, that's really evident when it comes to the t-shirts versus pop sockets, at least on merch. I mean, the stuff that I'm selling on my account is completely different. A lot of different kind of patterns. The designs themselves might not even have any text, whereas on a t-shirt, they almost always have text. So you're right. There's a lot of different kind of nuances to this.
Yes, and then the other thing that I tell people is that as you're growing, everyone is growing with you. Okay? So if you're on a train and you look from the window and you say, wow, we traveled a mile. Everyone in the train just traveled a mile. But there are some people in your train that just advanced 17 different wagons, and now they're on the first or second wagon when you're still on the last wagon of that same train. So because you uploaded 5 designs a day and your quality slightly improved or maybe stayed the same over the course of a year, you got to keep in mind that other people have improved a lot more than you did. And there's only 2 ways of doing it: quality and quantity. So if you can improve in both quality and quantity,
which is hard. It's hard.
It is hard. And if you're paying a designer and that designer is not improving for you, you're communicating with them, or maybe that's their limit. Maybe that's what they can do. You lose nothing. Just like you found them, you interview other designers and you find if you can up your quality. Okay? And then you see if you can up your quality too. If you can afford to pay a little more and get a few more designs, that would be great. If you can't do that, maybe upload to a little more products than you usually would. Maybe help with some text designs or whatever that you can make yourself. But even text designs, there is still quality involved. It's not just It's not type in a letter. It's not just type in whatever.
I saw some text-based designs the other day. Do you remember, like, what was it? It was like word. I don't remember what it was called, but basically where you use like word art and it had those weird shadows around. You could make this crazy looking art stuff. It was like MS Paint back when I was like 5. I don't remember what it was called. Word Perfect something. Basically, the designs I saw were like bubbled out letters that had these weird drop shadows in the back. It was like, it was on a black shirt, and it was like this deep, dark purple. So the design said something. I looked at it. I had no idea what it said. I had zero. I have a huge monitor. I'm sitting here like, what is that? Bad. It was bad. It was just a bad design. Yeah. So, like, even though it's simple, like, the quality was severely lacking, because if the customer lands on a shirt or they're scrolling through the results and they can't read it in the first, like, millisecond, you've already lost them. You're already going to fall down the page because you're not getting clicks. No one understands what your shirt is about. So you're right. Even with text-based stuff, like, the quality still matters.
Yes, the quality, the fonts, the display. Like, I don't know. You don't imagine somebody wanting a T-shirt. Okay, he's buying a workout shirt. He's wearing it to the gym. He wants to look tough. He wants to look rough. He wants to look like the man. And the T-shirt is written in script font. That's freaking romantic. You know.
I have. Funny you mentioned gym shirts. My funniest gym shirt that I get comments on all the time. I did a live like 2 years ago or something, right, with someone, and me just being a smartass said something along the lines of like, "Have you tried trying?" And yes. My friend Jay thought that was funny. Put it on a shirt. I bought it. Huge block letters that says, "Have you tried trying?" ? I have interacted with so many people that come up to me and they're like, "That's hilarious. Like, where did you get that?"
Yes.
That I would have talked to before ever, just based on one, like people can read it halfway across the gym, and two, it's ridiculous enough where like people notice it. And so many people like it's not my shirt, but so many people are like, "Where did you buy that?" Like, I want one of those.
Yes, it's funny because people can relate to that statement. Like people want something that they can relate to. It's
very true.
The T-shirt will say it for them, where their lips are shut. They don't have to say anything, but maybe they're just sick of people that say, "Oh, I can't lose weight," or "I can't do that," or you know what I mean? Okay.
It's things that people like feel a personal connection with that always sell best. I mean, it's that rise in emotion, right? Like it doesn't have to be, I don't know, it doesn't have to be gym related or anything like that. Like that's why politics stuff sells so well, is people are so connected. They feel so strongly about something. Or in the example of dogs, right? We were talking about dogs earlier. You know, some saying about, I don't know, pit bulls because, you know, they get a bad reputation sometimes, but if people have pit bulls, they feel so connected to that breed that if you put some unique stuff on there, big bold text, like people feel that emotion, and that's what causes people to buy. It's not that, oh, they love the design, right? I've bought stuff that it looks hideous, but I thought it was funny at the time, and it was an impulse buy. It was that emotion that it got from me.
You know, funny thing that you brought up. Dogs, you know, when people talk about niches and what to design for, I had posted this a while back, maybe like a year ago or over a year ago, and then I asked people this question. I say, if I remember, there are 235 AKC recognized dog breeds in the US. And every single one of those breeds, because there are a lot of dog breeds that are not recognized by the AKC, even though they are dog breeds that are very popular.
Yep.
Okay. They're very popular to everyone, but the AKC does not recognize them. So the ones that are recognized are like the most established real breeds that you see in the dog shows and everything. And if these dogs are recognized, those 235 breeds or whatever in the US, that means every single one of them has people that own those dogs. And when people that own those dogs, when they go on Amazon searching for a shirt, they are not searching for, they don't type in dog T-shirt. They type in their specific brand. I mean, the specific breed of dogs, because to them, it wouldn't be just okay for them to wear a T-shirt that says "I love dogs." Because he loves his breed. He's proud of his breed of dogs. And then, so knowing this on one hand, and then going to the other side and asking people, how many dog breeds do you know? How many dog breeds can you write down on a piece of paper? And I bet that most people would not go past 50. And this is...
I couldn't get anywhere close to 50. No way.
Okay. Yeah, I said, so I'm being a little bit lenient with my guess here. So, okay, if you know 50, then there is another 185 niches that you don't know about. So maybe a simple simple search will reveal all these niches for you, maybe on a spreadsheet. And maybe you can create one single concept and just have your designer just change up that word or that illustration or whatever of that dog, and all of a sudden, you have 235 different niches. This is not considering that there are other breeds of dogs that are popular that are not recognized by the AKC.
Right. And you know what I would do for those? Let's say you upload all of those, right? And you start selling 3 of them. Okay, you have 230 whatever designs. You start selling 3 of them. You sit back and go, "Oh, well, that wasn't very good." Actually, like, you just did really good niche research. Now you know 3 niches that happen to have a bunch of buyers in them. Now you know what to double down on and what to ignore.
Exactly. And the funny thing is that on Amazon, we don't have that feedback or any data or anything that we can go by. But doing Etsy, you get communications from the customers.
Yep.
Okay. So when you have a dog shirt that looks really cool, you're proud of that design, you made it, whatever, and then some customer sends you an email. They say, "Oh, could you make me this design, but for a chipsick schnauzer?" I made up that word. You go like, "Oh, holy hell! I didn't even know about."
Yep. Well, you know what's funny? While we were talking, so you know how everyone talks about how, oh, Amazon's so saturated, yada yada yada, right?
Yeah.
And we were just talking about these dog breeds, which if anyone's like actually looked on Amazon, there's 1.5 million dog shirts. I happen to be picking up a dog this coming week, so this weekend. I haven't looked yet. I don't know why I haven't looked yet. I literally just pulled up Amazon and typed in, the dog breed dog shirt. Less than 400 results of a dog breed that I know is on that AKC list. So I feel like people just aren't spending the time to find these different niches.
No, they're not. Everyone is going to the same place.
And okay. So what I see a lot of is you sit down at a computer, okay? You don't have any ideas. You're like, okay, well, what can I design? What are the main niches? Well, you have, dogs, cats, lifestyles like veganism and biking and stuff like that. That's all great and good. Those are huge niches. People sell a lot of shirts, make a lot of money in them. But it's all about niching down from there, like getting smaller and smaller. So when I put a shirt online, I'm not trying to make 100 sales a month based on one shirt. I'm trying to make one sale every month and scale that across thousands of designs. That's kind of my goal, is because 1, you're not competing with as many people, which is always good. 2, you're getting a lot more designs, which if you're going to spread them across the internet on other platforms, that's also good. But, at the end of the day, it's just a lot easier to make money that way.
Yes, definitely. I wanted to show this real quick. I don't know if it's visible. Is it?
There we go. Yep, I see it.
This is the AKC. So this is their website. If you scroll down, then you start seeing all these breeds.
What is that? An AF and some pincher?
Yeah. So there are all these breeds that nobody know about. And there are owners of these breeds that will go on Amazon right now and would search for that. And the funny thing, if you guys think that Neil Lassen made Mersh Informer, Neil Lassen doesn't know about this breed, but Mersh Informer does. If you go on Mersh Informer and you type in that breed, Mersh Informer will tell you how many results are, and you look at them and you decide. You look at their BSRs and you look and you say, okay, is it worth entering this niche? How are the designs? Are they good designs? Can I come up with a new, not an improved, a new concept that's going to look better than all of these? And when somebody searches for these, for this Effin Spincher, he's going to like my shirt better than all these other results. And
well, that's a big thing right there too. Is like what I like to do personally is I like to find the niches that are selling really heavily and then go from there. So like what you just said is a completely different way to do it, but it also works. So you can either come up with your ideas and then niche down from there, or you can find someone else's idea and come up with new, unique stuff. So I know I get a ton of hate for being like, oh, you're just telling people to copy. You're telling people to steal my design. I'm like, no, you find this design. It's selling 10,000 copies a month. People are buying it. So anyone with half a brain is going to go, wait a minute. Like, there's so many other ideas in this niche that I can do that this person isn't doing. You know, like a Ford is different than a Chevy, right? But they're
Yes.
both trucks. They're both trucks. But there's differences between them. You have to be able to identify those differences to create your unique product, and that's how I like to make money. It's not that I'm telling people to copy. It's that, I mean, you want to emulate success, right? So if you find something that's successful, how can I emulate this without copying it? Well, clearly you can go in the same niche and be unique.
Yes, exactly. There is nothing wrong with going in the same niche, because that niche was not made for that person alone.
Very true.
And there is a 99% chance that he came in that niche because he saw other shirts in that niche and decided to come up with his own concept for that. What I keep doing is I keep texting myself anytime I get an idea, because we forget things in life. If we can go back and figure out everything that we forgot throughout our lifetime, it would be books of stuff that we forgot. So
we put a notes feature inside of Mersh Informer for that very reason, because I would put like a note on my computer, and then I'd put a note on my phone, and I'm like, I can't keep track all this stuff. You know, some of these notes are in different folders on one computer, and I have a laptop over here. It's like, how can I keep all this stuff straight? That's why we put the notes feature inside of Mersh Informer. But you're right, like keeping track of all those different ideas and then researching against those ideas. You know, I can't tell you how many times I've had a brilliant idea, and I go on Amazon and I'm like, wow, my brilliant idea has 10,000 other people that thought of it before me. Like, okay, back to the drawing board, or time to niche down. You know, it's not every time you think of something doesn't mean someone else has not thought of it before.
You know, like I have millions of instances where I would think I came up with something new, and I would go on Amazon, or I would just go on Google and type that, and somebody would have already thought of that. And it's funny because I guess, I don't know, we were made the same. We think alike, and it's not easy to stand out. Like very rarely you would come up with something for the first time. Sometimes, and this not only includes successes, it also includes failures, because the whole race of us was carrying 50-pound luggage all the way up to till we landed on the moon. We landed on the moon before we thought about putting wheels on luggage. So, and this is true. So, because we're all bred to think alike, we're all thinking about different things, but we're not thinking about. So, what I do is when I find, and the funny thing, sometimes I find the stuff already in use, I find the stuff trademarks already. Somebody already heard about it and trademarked it.
Yep.
So just. Look, and I just texted myself. This is just, those check boxes.
Yep.
Those check boxes where you put a check mark. I have three phrases, and the first two are unchecked, and the bottom one is checked. So it just says working hard, hardly working, going to the beach. So it's very simple. It's nothing genius. It's not supposed to impress anyone.
Do you do half the ideas that you drop in the comments when I'm doing a live video? Because I always get such a kick out of those, man.
I promise. Okay, this is too late for this, but okay, let me show you the idea that I just sent to myself, but it was little too late. What is my phone? What is the camera?
Compulsive lover easily falls in love with a trench.
So this is just one.
That's funny. See, I laughed. Like, that'd be the perfect shirt. But here's the thing, right? Let's say that you had no idea that Valentine's Day was a big seller, right? You can go, you can go into Mersh Informer, you can go on Amazon. Hell, I don't care where you look. You look outside at any store, you notice, oh, they're selling a bunch of Valentine's Day stuff. You see that there's a bunch of different shirts out there. They're selling 1,000 copies a month because Valentine's Day is right around the corner. And then you think to yourself, hey, maybe I'm not just going to put a clip art heart on. maybe I'm going to come up with my unique phrase. And that happens to be your unique phrase, which I am guessing that's not on Amazon yet. That's how you stick out in that huge niche.
Yes.
And the fact that I laughed, I know that would sell. Like,
yes, and the funny thing now it's a little bit too late for but it could still work as an evergreen for all year long. It just says big warning, and then it says easily what.
Yep.
But the thing that I thought of. Sorry, I just jumped subjects and I was saying, like when designing for someone, I try to think of what would they inside their brain would want to say. If I was this type of person, what would I want to say to the world? Example: if you didn't grow up, if you didn't live in the United States your whole life and grew up somewhere else, it's like there is an army of people that was trained to receive you and tell you this. Oh, don't talk religion and politics. And I'm like, okay, how you guys vote? Okay, so what do you guys do? You just sit there, say nothing until you go to the voting booth. So a lot of people, and I'm not saying even Americans, a lot of people like to discuss their political opinions and things. So
yes, they do.
And they feel offended when people tell them, okay, we're going to the party, just please, no politics, no religion. Okay? So maybe I want to be that guy. Just a t-shirt that says warning, yellow text black text with the yellow frame around it. And then underneath says, often talk politics and religion.
Yep.
So he just puts on that t-shirt. He's making a statement to the world. There is no stopping me. I'm either going to that party or I'm not.
And that gets a rise out of people. It's all about just getting that little bit of rise. That's where the money is. That little rise.
Yeah, so people would understand, okay, he warned me first. He warned me first. He's going to and I was thinking about putting underneath, like in small font that would say engage at your own risk. You know?
Yes.
So for that person that wants to talk religion and politics, now that t-shirt is a statement for him. He doesn't need to tell people. And if somebody complains that he's talking religion or politics, he says, okay, see that?
Points at the shirt.
Yeah, he points at the shirt. So the shirt is making a statement for him. And it's the same thing for people that wants to talk about different things. People that like surfing, people that like biking, people that like working out, people that don't want to work out. They just want to eat pizza, lay on the couch. The t-shirt says their statement for them.
Right, and you don't have to be like the shirt you just described. Like, you don't have to be some great artist to do it. You don't need to sit there and think to yourself, well, I need to spend 4 hours creating a design. Like, if you're in this to make money, it's about getting the rise out of people. It's about like finding stuff that's unique. If you just want to design your own artwork and put it up, that's cool. But if you actually want to make royalties, you need to design what people want or find funny or get a rise out of, and that's the type of stuff that you just described. It's a super easy concept, but like it makes people laugh. Like emotion, right? It invokes emotion. And that stuff does well on a t-shirt. Like Picasso on a t-shirt, probably not. That belongs on a canvas, which other platforms offer, not Merch, but you get my point.
Yes, definitely. So I was looking at the questions, and it was okay. This is for Mersh Informer, but I believe I'll highlight it. He says that hey, in Mersh Hunter, can you add this option? We have BSR selection, but about the date range, for example, I want to choose between 700,000 and 1,700,000 for the last 20 days.
So for that, you'd probably want to use like the Trend Hunter, because that's going to show you average sales ranks over time. The reason we didn't include the date option in the Merch Hunter is specifically because Amazon has screwed up like the date repeatedly. Like when things got put up, I don't remember when it was, maybe like a year or so ago, all of the like first seen on Amazon dates changed. I think that was last year. Do you remember that happening?
Yes.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, like, it just throws everything off. So instead of like putting that up and being like, well, you know, it's not a very good indicator of anything when doing research.
No, it's not. If I was to answer, I would tell them that if you want a certain date, you can go back and look at the Mersh archive, which is
Yeah,
a very
that's another
powerful.
good one. But see, what that's not going to do is not going to tell you when it was put up on Amazon. The archive inside of Merch Informer is going to show you, like, okay, a year ago during this date, what were people buying? And the reason that's important is because, like, I can go back in time and say, okay, you know, with Valentine's Day coming up, what were people actually buying last year? So then I can design my stuff and get a bunch of products up way before Valentine even happens. So then you can start running AMS ads. You can start making sure you're optimizing your products, but you know what people were buying previously, so you can do that research. Because if you go in the middle of December, right? Let's just say it's December, and you're like, I wonder what I should design for Valentine's Day. You're gonna have no
Yeah.
idea because no Valentine's Day shirts are selling in December. Is my best
Yeah.
guess. So that's why we built that, and that's really helpful to go back and see like historical data, so you can base your research off something like concrete, not just random guesses.
Yes. Uh, you know, uh, I was thinking about making this little this little contraption for myself, and just thought of the idea. And using Merch Archive would be the best way to fill it. So it would be like a clock, just made out of cardboard, and I would cut it into sections,
Okay.
and I would put the niches that are coming up, and I would make two handles, okay? And those handles are like always at a 90-degree, which in the calendar would be 3 months. So when you move one, it moves the other,
Yep.
okay?
Okay.
So this will tell me this is the niche we're at, okay? And this is what
I got you. That's the one you have to design for.
this is what I need to start designing for it. And once I'm done with that, I will just move it a little bit forward, and I'm hitting the next niche.
Dude, that's a good point though, is because, okay, if you, for example, if you sat down today and you're watching us talk and you're like, wow, I had no idea Valentine's Day was coming up. Chances are, if you design a Valentine's Day shirt and put it up right now, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe you get a sale, but more than likely, you're not even going to be seen. No one's going to see that stuff. But if you designed it and uploaded it a month, 2 months, 3 months ago, well, now it's had time on Amazon to index properly and get in front of the right people, so that when people start buying, your products are there. They're where they need to be, so that you can make money from them.
Yes. So I was looking at Avinash's question. He says, in the best cat dad ever, I uploaded one design with 15 different titles and brand names for experiment. I optimized with keywords. None was able to rank within 7 pages. What could be the reason? Okay.
You take this one, and then I'll answer what I think.
Yes. Here's what I believe. Number one, I don't think you needed to go that extreme of a test. If you wanted to try the keyword, maybe 2 or 3 would have been enough. Number two, you gotta remember there is a rotation of t-shirts that is going on. So in some niches where there is not enough results, then Amazon will just display you right away, because there is only like 5-6 pages of results, and you would add it to them, so they will display you right away, and most likely you would be one of the last pages. Now, if you upload a t-shirt to like a cat niche that is super busy, then it wouldn't be fair that Amazon would just take people out of the front pages and place you up there, because just like you're trying to optimize your listings with the best keyword, there are 10,000 other people that are doing the same thing for those busy niches. So just saying funny cat shirt is not going to do anything for your listing. That is not happening for others. So it will be a t-shirt. It would be a listing rotation, and in this case, it wouldn't help you, because some of them will be making the rotation for some keywords that are in them that are they were optimized for the time that others won't be making that rotation because they're in competition for rotation for other keywords. For example, one you put funny cat shirt, and the other one you put I don't know, cute kitty shirt. So you're competing for two different keywords and two different shirts, and they're in different rotations. You might have some common keywords, but for every keyword for every keyword you're in a different rotation for that keyword. So I would say that if you're going for after busy niches, to just upload them. Don't think too much about it and let the Amazon rotation happen. If you're lucky, when your shirt is seen, when it gets its turn in rotation, if it's seen and it sells, then you score a point with the Amazon algorithm, and the Amazon algorithm is willing to display you more or keep you in the rotation longer, or maybe just keep you in the rotation for good or advance you into the front pages. If you score a lot of sales, the more points you score, then Amazon decide, you know what? Because there are some shirts that actually were just granted their spot in the rotation, they would just sit there. You type in Black History Month, and those shirts they're like always in the front page, but because they earned it, because every time Amazon displayed them, they earned the sales. And the other thing that I believe happened in the last maybe 6 months or so, Amazon started giving a better chance to new uploads, which is great in my opinion. Because if I was a customer and I'm a skateboarder, and I type in skateboarding T-shirt or skateboarder T-shirt on a search, and every time I check Amazon, I go through 3, 4 pages and I see the same shirts. Maybe I already bought like 5, 6, 10 T-shirts different T-shirts from Amazon. I say, okay, there is nothing new. There is nothing to see here. Forget it. But now Amazon goes, okay, we're not gonna keep doing this. Let's show some new uploads uh, to the customers. So the customer now, when they search on Amazon, they can see T-shirts that were uploaded within the last month or 2 months or whatever. So new uploads are getting a chance in some busier niches. Because otherwise, if Amazon had kept it the same, you would have no chance of selling a Trump shirt or an anti-Trump shirt. But thankfully now, if you can sell a Trump shirt, that means you were seen and somebody clicked on your listing.
I think the biggest thing here, though, is like that's just not very niche down, right? So I just did a search for best cat dad ever on merchresearch.com. It will show you just t-shirts, and just on normal Amazon.com. There are thousands and thousands of these designs, like 60 plus pages that say best cat dad ever, like no variation, no anything. So if I was going to go for best cat dad ever, I would niche that down even further. Like we were talking about dog breeds earlier.
Yes.
Like, relate it to cat breeds. I don't know a single cat breed. Okay, maybe like a tabby. That's a right. That's a cat breed. Yeah. So like you have to niche down further, or you have to have a unique phrase in a big niche. So like that's in the cat niche, right? So you have the cat niche, but everyone has thought or seen best cat dad ever, which means there's 60 plus pages of the same thing over and over and over again.
And like, what are the chances you're going to come into that niche and you're going to out
well, think about it this way, right? Like the first best cat dad ever shirt on Amazon was probably uploaded before Merch by Amazon was a thing.
Oh yes.
Which means that they have the sales, they have the sales velocity, they have the reviews, and you're coming in 4 years later, 5 years later, especially if they were doing it before Merch by Amazon, right? And you're expecting to outrank these shirts that have been like just dominating because, like you said, they earned it. They have the sales velocity. They have the reviews. They have everything to back it up. And you're coming in way down the line with a design that, you know, it's just getting lost in the freight because there's so many results out there. So you're going to have to, I mean, that's just part of the game now, right? You're going to have to niche down further, or you're going to have to be more unique in the phrases and designs you're putting up. I mean, there's really no two ways to cut it.
Yes, that is 100%. And like you said, if you don't niche down, like you are doing it to yourself. You're competing for the unattainable.
Yeah.
Like you said, just imagine, like you said, if you took that phrase and just changed it to one of the 235 dog breeds and you made variations, chances now, if somebody looks for that first dog breed that I can't even remember what it was, Evan Schnauzer, or I don't know what it was,
Yeah.
if I bet there is not a lot of people searching for that, and there is not a lot of results for that. So if you can supply to that demand, then you will have a better chance of.
And here's also a good point too, right? Is like we were talking about whatever first shirt came out that said best cat dad ever and started getting all the sales on Amazon. I guarantee you they're probably still selling very well. Now the niche is huge and they're at the front of the pack because they were first. So that's
Yeah.
why like one of my favorite things to do is find phrases that aren't on Amazon in these big niches. Because even if I have 10,000 copycats, as long as I was first and people see it and start buying it, and even if the niche gets bigger and bigger and bigger with my unique phrase and people try to rip me off, like I'm still first. And that means a lot when it comes to the print on demand business.
Yes, definitely. Uh, I was. Okay, I'm gonna check down a number. Uh, I I said I was going to do a giveaway. I was gonna give away 3 designs to someone, and so
Nice.
what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna type down a number from 1 to 10, and I'll do the giveaway at 8:30. So if you type it in before 8:30, so basically 9 minutes from now, I'm not gonna look at those results, but the first number, the first person to uh, type that number in the chat after 8:30 will get the design. You can type in as many times as you want. So I just wrote down the number in front of me.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Okay. Uh, so it's the first person that types it, not every person that types it. Otherwise, I'll be busy making designs. Uh, so with the Mersh Informer, I I have noticed that a lot of people are confused between the different uses of like the Mersh Hunter, the Mersh Research, the Mersh. Uh, could you please just tell them like a little bit of insight on what different functions those few different similar features on Mersh Informers do?
Yeah, so merchresearch.com, all that's going to do is open up a link on Amazon that show merch shirts in no particular order for the keywords that you searched, right? Pretty simple, completely free to use. What Merch Informer is for is it actually gives you the data that you actually need, sorts it out for you, shows the reviews. Because the last thing I want to do, right, is do a search. I see the front page of the Amazon results, but I'm missing something that's like on the third or fourth page that might be optimized for something else, right? So Merch Informer is going to do is going to take all those results, sort them out for you so you can see, okay, here's this design for this keyword. It might include the keyword. It's better optimized for something else, but it's selling really well. So you can go in and look, okay, this is selling really well. It's selling really well in this niche. So you can sit there and actually make an informed decision based on actual data. Because the thing that just I do not understand is people who try to run a business without making informed decisions. Right? It makes no sense. You're shooting in the dark. You're guessing. If you actually can use data in your business, like your business is going to grow. So with the Merch Hunter, what that's going to show you is the best selling designs on Amazon at any given time with the click of literally one button.
That is a
And
very good way to put it because you actually take away the guessing game. I mean, you
yeah,
can
it completely eliminates it.
yeah. It's funny because you are for sure going to pay your designer, or you are for sure going to spend time designing. You are for sure going to sacrifice other things to work on Merch by Amazon. You are for sure going to give up maybe another job or give up some sports or whatever so you can do. So all these things are for sure going to happen. So now that you're going to do Merch by Amazon, you want to at least have some type of data to go with that will help you decide what you're going to spend this valuable time or money or time and money uh, creating this business. If you sit down going after a niche that doesn't have much demand and it has a higher competition, you don't want to be there. You don't want to meet with a high competition, low demand.
Yeah, that's like the worst of both worlds.
And if you're just shooting in the dark, chances are you might end up in that niche. You might end up.
See, the thing is, like, I'll just be honest. Most people are. They're just guessing what people want to buy. They're just designing what they themselves want to buy, and that's perfectly fine. But if you want to turn it into a business with like that brings in money every month, you need to go by the data. Like,
Yes,
straight up, you have to follow what the numbers tell you. If they tell you not to do something, then don't do it. If they tell you to do something, do a little bit more research, figure out how you can enter that niche. Like, it's just numbers, but those numbers are so valuable that people need to pay attention to them.
Exactly. I mean, look at people day trading in the stock market. If they don't have access to some data, they are just gambling. They just buy a lot.
Yep.
They're gambling. But if you have,
that's a good way to put it, gambling.
Yes, if you have some type of software, some type of program, some type of website or whatever that will tell you, give you the news, give you
here, back up. That's a really good point, right? The Merch Hunter, I've heard so many people, use it this way. It basically is a good way to filter the news, right? So, for example, back when the eclipse happened, I literally found out about it because it started blowing up on t-shirts. Not because I read a news article, because I looked at the Merch Hunter and I realized, well, oh my God, this is selling well. Or, for example, I don't watch Shane Dawson, right? But if he says something and he creates a product line for it, and all of a sudden it's now the #1 seller, I can go, well, you know what? I wonder what that is, and look him up, and he released this big video or something like that.
Yes.
It's going to show you all the trending stuff before you even know that it's trending. Before you even know that it's a thing, it's going to show you the data that says, all right, people want this. People want it right now. And then you can think to yourself, instead of, I want to copy that, you can think to yourself, all right, how do I sell to this group of people that I know wants this particular type of item? And that's why the data is helpful.
Yes, it is. And if you remember, like you brought up the eclipse, I watched people live on YouTube say how they missed out on the eclipse. They were on Amazon and they missed out on the eclipse because they didn't know about it, or they knew there was a solar eclipse, but
they didn't know people wanted to buy it.
They didn't think it was going to be that big of a deal. They were designing the best cat dad ever.
People were buying the weeks. It might have even been months, but it was at the very least weeks before it even happened.
It was from early July when it's inflated, and then it was other trends. It's not, guys. It's not the eclipse. It's not something that happens once every 10 years or 15 years or 246 years. Trends happen. There is so many trends happening on Merch by Amazon. They happen every month almost, or every week. In some cases, there is always something that's making the news. Did you design a T-shirt for Trump not being impeached? Probably not. But if you had some kind of signal, some kind of indicator that's telling you that these shirts people are searching for them. If Amazon knocks on your door and say, "Hey, buddy, get up, go make some T-shirts," customers are searching for. But Amazon is not going to tell you that. So the next best thing you can do is have a program that can actually give you those signals and tell you, listen up, teachers are striking in Arizona, go make some T-shirts. And people made.
I remember when that happened. That filled, literally, the Merch Hunter was filled with those type of designs.
Yes, and people say, well, you know what? I miss out on trends because I don't follow the news. Don't follow the news. Just open up Mersh Hunter, and it will tell you everything that you need to know. You don't need to know about I don't know about a accident in Highway 46, but you need to know about what's going to make you money. And the Mersh Hunter is not going to tell you about the accident on Highway 46. It's going to tell you about the teachers striking, about the solar eclipse, about.
I'm looking right now, and it is dominated by Valentine's shirts. Like,
Yes.
I mean, just simple stuff. A text-based design that says roses are red, wine is also red, homes are hard wine. Now I know we've all seen that,
Yeah.
in different places. But guess what? Whoever put that up was probably the first person to do it. Now, I don't know if it's trademarked or anything like that. Don't bite my head off if it is. But clearly, they put it up and at almost $20, and it's selling so well. So it's if you would have used Merch Informer a month ago and figured out, hey, Valentine's Day is coming up, and oh, hey, by the way, this is what people were buying last year. Like, you would have had a heads up to design a bunch of these different types of shirts before we got to this point.
I'm gonna ask you this live. I probably should ask you this, but you know what? Close one ear too, like I told Amazon, is I see people putting two codes together, and all of a sudden they turn into Austin Power. Like $1 million, and I'm wondering, this Mersh Informer thing. What are you doing? Is it charity or what? I mean, the price on it is still so low, and like you're always adding stuff to it. You're always working on it. I mean, don't take me wrong. I'm loving it. The
thing is,
I'm loving it.
We just want to. Okay, the thing is, like, this is when I first got started with Merch by Amazon. I spent literally all day searching for random stuff on Amazon, and most of the tools we've built are tools that I wanted 3 years ago, right? And I figured if we can get it into more people's hands, like, it's just going to make people's lives a little bit better. I mean, I know that sounds corny, but like, if you can make more money with less time spent and grow your business, like, you're just going to be a happier person. So at the end of the day, we just want to help as many people as possible grow their Merch by Amazon businesses. I mean, that's what I've been doing over the past few years, and that's what I try to help other people do. So it's
a lot of softwares and programs and extensions have come and gone, and Mersh Informer has been there before, and it's still there now, and that should tell everyone something, because if it was anything wrong with Mersh Informer, it would be one of the softwares that came and left.
Yeah.
But no, Mersh Informer is still there, and it's still growing. This is why I love Mersh Informer. It's still growing the whole time. And the funny thing is, like I said, with other platforms and stuff, there is so much stuff on Mersh Informer that I don't have time to use it all. Like, I need to hire a VA to help me use it. Because
and the thing is too, like, when there's an issue, we try to develop things to fix the issue. So, for example, it has been, one of the biggest pain points isn't necessarily research. It's all these BS trademarks everywhere, right? Yeah. So we got together, we built a Chrome plugin that'll actually search all of your phrases and sentences and titles and everything before you upload to Merch by Amazon to make sure nothing is trademarked. So that way that you have some peace of mind. It's basically a process. Like, if there's a big issue in the community that needs addressed, we're going to try to address it because it'll make your life a little bit easier.
Yes, definitely. I believe Mersh Informer is great. Like I said, I don't have the time to use every feature because it has so many features, and they're all available to me when I want to use them. The uploader is great. The designer is great. I mean, what do you think about this? I mean, people had 1 million subscription. You have no idea how many subscriptions have been canceled because now people would say, okay, I needed that, now I have it in Mersh Informer. I needed this, now I have it in Mersh Informer. There is an uploader, there is a designer, there is research, there is all kinds of features that you can do. There's an archive machine. Everything is there. So and I'm not saying this to advertise or or anything. And guys, here's Neil in front of me. I'm not getting anything out of this. I don't even have a link, but just credit is given where credit is due. And I'm also telling you to help you that if you are running your Merch by Amazon business, you seriously have to go look into Mersh Informer. This is not a sales pitch. You have 3 days to try for free. Do you still have the 3 days free, Neil?
Yep, every account has 3 free days.
You have 3 days for free. You know, you can go 3 days without water. What is it? 3 weeks without food. And I don't know how long without sleep. Okay, so you can go 3 days without sleep. Don't sleep for 3 days. Just spend 3 days working on Merch Informer, and decide after the 3 days is over. Take a little nap and then decide if you want to buy it for yourself. It really makes a huge difference. You're not shooting in the dark anymore. You're not guessing anymore. You're designing, or if you're paying a designer, you're paying for things that are proven to work. And like I said earlier in the video, if you're just joining, I'm saying if you're using Merch by if you're using Merch Informer to see what's selling so you can copy it, you are using it the wrong way. You're not going to make any money. Yep. If you're using Mersh Informer to find out what niches and trends are selling, so you can design for those niches and trends and bring new concepts and new illustrations, new clip art, new whatever to those niches, then you are using Mersh Informer the right way. But how the heck would you know that teachers are striking in Arizona if Mersh Informer did not tell you and you don't watch the news? And even if you watch the news, most of our news everywhere here, at least in the US, is local news. You know that a dog was kidnapped in Lakewood at the time that there is an earthquake in Nicaragua that nobody talks about, because local news focuses on what's going on locally. So you miss all these type of things. Plus, it doesn't have to be just news. It could be just like a little teenager thing, like that okay boomer trend.
Yep.
Okay, it was just a teenager. It was far away from the news. It was just a little teenager that said something funny in a video that went viral, and all of a sudden everyone went searching for it on a t-shirt. And it got to some super low BSRs. Now it's gone. So it has gone and left. Some people cashed out the money and it was transferred to their bank accounts 2 months ago. Okay. Now, are you going to be there when the next thing happens? They happen every week, every month, there is no
shortage of them.
Yeah, they're everywhere and they happen all the time. And they don't have to be okay boomer. They can be what is the other one that was what is it? Okay SK or whatever, something like that.
Yeah. I think I remember that happening.
Yeah. So that was just a little funny thing on TikTok or whatever, and kids in high schools everywhere. If you don't have kids at school, kids in high schools everywhere were saying that. In middle schools were saying that. They thought it was funny. So the next thing they did is they said, oh, you know what? Instead of saying, why don't I wear it on a t-shirt? They searched on Amazon, and sure enough, somebody was smart enough to find it, put on a t-shirt. And then you know what? Who's the next smartest guy? The next smartest guy is the guy that went on Trend Hunter, and he found it there, and he decided, you know what? I'm following that guy, but with my own design. I'm going to go ahead and make it. And I'm sorry, Miss TikTok girl, if it's not trademark and it's not copyrighted, not everything you said is copyrighted, because otherwise everything I spit out of my lips in this last hour will be copyrighted. All I have to do is just to leave the camera on and talk all day and then take people down for infringement. I'm sorry, if you said it for free, and it wasn't a movie and it wasn't whatever, and you said it for free on YouTube or on TikTok, it's not trademark, it's not copyrighted. So that's my opinion. You're also entitled to have your own opinion if you're listening and you disagree with me.
I think that pretty much sums it up, man. That was a good I couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, so like telling you guys to join Mersh Informer is, like I said, is no sales pitch. Try it out for free. Try it out for 3 days, and then okay, There is something in mathematics called proof by contradiction. If you can't prove that something is right, you try to prove that it's wrong. And then if somehow you come up to a proof that says that no, this cannot be wrong, then it can only be right. So this is what is proof by contradiction.
Yeah, I mean
So
that's why we give the 3-day trial to people, is because like if it's not a good fit for your business, then it's not a good fit.
yes,
Right? But I feel like if people actually use the tools in the way we've been describing tonight, then clearly I'm biased, but I think it's an excellent fit, because that is how myself and a ton of other people have made very, very good money, is by discovering these niches, discovering these sub niches, all the tools, using the designer, just making sure that we can actually build our print on demand business.
yeah. So just a question about that trial, because I skipped it. Uh, uh, they upload a credit card.
Yeah, so it just takes any credit card. It's 3-day free trial. If you hit the cancel button before the 3 days is up, it just cancels, and that's that.
So if you cancel before the 3 days up, you pay nothing.
Correct. Yep.
And if you don't cancel, then that means you decided to join, and then you're going to be billed monthly.
Correct. Or whatever you sign up for. But yeah, every single one has a 3-day trial on it. So if you sign up for a year, then it's going to charge after the 3 days. If you click cancel, then you're not going to be charged. And,
you're not even going to be charged for the 3 days. It's not like you're going to pay for 3 days. You're not even going to pay for 3 days. So like I said, proof by contradiction, consider that I'm lying to you. And take 3 days and try to prove that I'm lying to you. And here's my prediction. You're going to use Mersh Informer for 3 days, and you're going to say, wow, the guy was not lying. I was missing out on all this stuff. It's right here in front of me. I'm sitting on the Amazon search box, typing in things and looking for things, when it's all in front of me and organized and weeded out. There is only Mersh by Amazon products. There is, you have different marketplaces. You have different products. You can search by products. So everything is right there in front of you. So why the distraction? Why sit there looking at FBA and FBM and stuff? And not only that, Amazon too. When I search on Amazon every time decides to shuffle it a different way. Sometimes they're showing me the best sellers on the front page. Sometimes they're showing me a million BSR on the front page. Sometimes they're showing me some keywords, some words, because Amazon has different sensitivities of how they want to display the items. Sometimes the keyword you type in, unless you put it between quotation marks, it will give you anything that the algorithm deems that it's close enough to whatever you search for. So you're getting stuff that you say, what the heck is this shirt having what I search for? Why is this showing up here? Mersh Informer does not do that. You search for something, and it gives you that exact something, rows of it, and it will display it however you want to display it. You want BSR from 0 to 100K to 500K to a million to whatever, it will display it in front of you, and you want to see what was selling last year in April. Okay, now this is February. You want to design for April or May, but you're new. You were just accepted 2 months ago, or maybe you were accepted 2 years ago, but it's still struggling. But even if you're a pro, I mean, nobody has a memory of whatever. So
I certainly don't.
Yeah, because even if you have that memory, I could only remember things that I designed for myself last year and the year before or whatever. But maybe last year and the year before, I missed out on some trends. And the only way I can find out is if I go to the archive, go to last year, go to the month of May, and search what was the best sellers. And then when you look at those best sellers, you decide, why was this selling? You don't decide, okay, I'm copying this one. You say, why was this selling? They're like, okay, that was this trend. Okay, that was, I don't know, that was Easter, that was this, that was that, that was Father's Day, that was this. And you say, okay, you write it down on a piece of paper. You say, I'm going to design for this niche. You can save it on Mersh Informer. You don't need to write it down. You can save things on. So you have a secretary that's working for free. Basically, it's like not even in the third world you'll find somebody that will do all this research for you and save notes for you or whatever for that amount of money. So you're missing out if you don't have Merch Informer. I'm sorry to tell you this, but it is true.
Appreciate it. I agree.
Yes. So guys, if you're listening, I'm giving away 3 designs. Sorry, my I don't have breaks when I talk. I'm if you guys can pick a number between 1 and 10, and I will give away 3 designs to the one person that picks the right number. I know there is a little delay between the video and the typing. You can type in as many numbers as you want, and
up to what number is it? 10?
Just 1 to 10.
1 to 10. Right. I'm
The
dropping a
first
number.
person that writes that number.
There we go. I dropped you a number. Am I right?
Okay. So this is a good way to gauge it. I'll see how long it takes for that number to show up in the chat. That's maybe it shows up faster on YouTube.
Yeah, on YouTube is what I'm watching. I just typed it. Now they're all starting to come in.
Okay. Oh, what is the chat? Oh, my chat on YouTube is not updated. It's still showing the first.
You might have to refresh.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna refresh it. I hope it stays muted.
Oh, it probably won't. We'll probably hear it. Good old YouTube.
Yes, I still see myself talking from earlier from the video, so I guess there is quite a bit of a delay, which is good because sometimes if one of your guests freaks out on you, yeah, you can pause it before it gets the air.
Oh man.
So, can you see the numbers, Neil?
Yes.
I'm gonna tell you. Here is the number. So if you see whoever said this number first.
All right, Avinash. I don't know how to say your last name. Jagyasi?
Is that whoever said it first?
Yes,
oh
it
my
is.
God,
He said it literally.
Number he said too.
Yep.
Wow. All right. Avinash, you want 3 designs. Send me a private message with your email, and I will send them to you.
Nice.
Okay. So, guys, we Neil was kind enough to join us tonight, and it was great to be able to have him and
thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
About Mersh Informer and about the single upload software. I mean the single upload.
We call it that. We call this single upload interface.
Yeah, single upload interface. Okay. Because the word throws me off because I would think it would be a multi-upload.
The single upload, so it's one interface to upload everywhere.
Yes, exactly. But just so people might understand it different way, like single upload.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like the one trick monkey. You know?
Yeah.
The one trick monkey, it means it's a monkey with many tricks. Anyway, so it is great. So it's the single upload interface. Correct. And like my joke suggested, this thing will help you upload your existing designs to a whole bunch of different places and different products. And so you guys can maximize the use of the money you already invested or the time you already invested in making those designs. It's a new product from Neil Lassen, the guy that brought you Mersh Informer. Everyone uses it and everyone loves it. Thank you so much for being with us, guys, tonight. And I look forward to doing more of these videos in the future. Thank you so much, Neil, for spending time with us. And
thank you for having me.
With our people. One thing I learned, I think that the time choice wasn't that great. No wonder everyone does their lives in later in the day, because the 3 hour difference and because more people are home and done with everything. So like I said, thank you so much, Neil, for being here. I know you're a busy man and you need to go on with your the rest of your schedule.
Perfect, man. Appreciate you having me. It was fun.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Take
Have a
care,
good one, guys.
everyone. Have a good night. Good seeing you all. Take
Yep.
care. Bye bye.